What's up, agents? In a world dominated with technology and being the modern and cutting edge, are those old, outdated real estate tactics bringing you down? Are they costing you clients? We're going to dive into all of that and more next. What's up, guys? Jeremy Kane, eXp Realty and the Real Estate Agent Playbook. Super excited for this one today because I hear all the time that the fastest way to get clients is the old-fashioned way, whether it's open houses, cold calling, door knocking, and I'm here to break that down a little bit. I talk a ton about modern strategies, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the old school way and see if it's costing us clients. If you like this content, or maybe you can watch another video and you like what I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button. It helps to grow this community and help me help more agents win every single day at the game of real estate. We're also over on the podcast, so if you're on the road and you want some real estate motivation or some good ideas, please go subscribe over there. Leave me a 5-star review. I would be forever grateful. But let's get into this. So the old traditional tactics, right? I have heard it. I've said it. If you really want to get down to business, open houses, right? Open houses is something that is a little more comfortable for a lot of people compared to some of the older views, and that's okay, right? Some of the older tactics. Open houses are a little more comfortable because people are coming into the home, usually willingly, and so sometimes they're just looking, but it is a first tell. If somebody is looking at other houses that are on the market, that they could be interested in real estate and they're coming in the door. Now, I think that the old school way of doing open houses is absolutely old school and won't work, right? If you're sitting behind your laptop and you're just saying, hey, let me know what you think of the property, you're not engaging, you don't have, things set up throughout the house, it's not a unique experience, you're just going to be another open house agent. The open houses right now seem to be that if they're more like an event, and I'm not saying throw a rager or a party at, a client's house or somebody's listing, but it has to be memorable and you have to come across. The whole point of an open house is opportunity for you to demonstrate your knowledge of the market, show your value, and make a connection with people. And so if we're doing that, that's absolutely the case. Print advertising. This is something that obviously is pretty expensive, pretty old school, and we've all been there, right? Throwing junk mail away, so on. It's definitely something that can be used as a strategy, maybe along the lines of some other neighborhood pieces, some events, maybe some open houses, maybe, you're calling the neighborhood, maybe you're doing, a garage sale or something like that. Mailers typically are just kind of what it is. You have to have something more, in my opinion. Granted, you'll get one out every so often that may just be a flyer and catch you and turn into a listing and so on. But make sure you're really dialing in your value. The use of QR codes is huge. Getting people to scan those QR codes and get them somewhere else, right? That's huge for those mailers. And then we have, the networking referrals. This is personally my favorite. I don't consider this as old school as it might be, but those big networking events and things like that. And then cold calling, of course, picking up the phone and dialing for dollars. Having something, something in your script that's a little bit different that catches people off guard, so you're not just getting that phone slammed down on you. And then the almighty door knocking. This is something, truthfully, once you start to do it, people have a little bit harder time rejecting you straight to your face and slamming that phone down. So those are kind of the traditional methods. Now, what I said there is a bunch of things that truthfully are pretty traditional, but it's not about the delivery that matters. It's about the connecting with people. And those are the quickest ways to have people, qualified people, to have conversations about real estate, sharpening your saw as an agent and getting the reps, right? If you can, go door knock someone and have a conversation about real estate, be competent about the market, which you might not be the first time, but you don't have to be, right? Just have those conversations, get used to the questions, practice. What happens if you blow it, right? If you blow it at a door knock, it is what it is. You've made a buddy, somebody knows you in the neighborhood, and it is what it is. If you answer that question wrong or whatever, go back to your memory bank, write that objection down and practice it, right? Practice with ChatGPT, practice with your spouse, practice with your best friend. It doesn't matter, but practice, and eventually you will learn to handle that objection. If you have a conversation with somebody and they're talking about that objection, maybe you're saying, hey, what would you say to this? If you have a mentor or something. But the point is, you're getting reps, right? And a lot of these are kind of shotgun approaches, 1% conversion, 2% conversion. I get it. It's not a lot. But if you're having 100 conversations, the value of that, especially as a newer agent or an agent that's looking to scale your business, is invaluable. So the truth is that they are pretty effective, right? The pros are that you're having these conversations, you're put in the limelight, you're put on the spot to have an answer to those questions. The cons might be the time spent. It does take a little bit of time, and it is extremely hard to knock that first door, to make that first dial, to host that first open house. And so once you're getting into these methods and you're practicing and you're perfecting your craft, then you can start being a little bit different, throwing some curveballs in the script, making the open house a little bit more edgy and exciting and memorable. All of these things are ways to do it, but you got to do the first one first. But the truth is, they are very effective, right? They are effective. This is how you get into the business. And if for nothing else, you're getting the experience and the objection handles and those, scripts and reps for you to better your business. So certainly the modern way seems great. You can hide behind a computer screen. You can, type. That absolutely works for some people, but it takes relentless effort and consistency, a little bit of creativity, and an appealing brand, right? And all of that just doesn't happen overnight. And so while social media is great, if you're a brand new agent hiding behind the keyboard, just posting beautiful homes and not really engaging with true objections, this is something that can be a piece of your business, but very few can build an entire empire just by, a social media platform. It has been done. It happens, but it does take time and it does take consistency. So depending on when you need your next commission check, if you have a year to wait to kind of build some momentum and start to get clients and, sift through the rental referrals and that kind of stuff, certainly you can do that. However, most people that come to me need a paycheck, within the next 3 months usually. And the fastest way to do that and turn that around is have these conversations in the places where we're talking about real estate and we're having those reps, and the conversions will come. So if you are in need, you need to be out there doing one of these things very actively, prospecting and going out and getting it, right? Social media is more of a passive. So however, I want to be very clear, the combination of the two, if you're door knocking and you're like, hey, connect with me on, this neighborhood Facebook group, this is my Facebook group, I manage it, and we do all things, Northeast Holbrook Farms, then that's a huge piece. So when you start to connect the dots of traditional and modern, that's where things can kind of take off. You can build a following a little bit quicker on social. It's a little bit less intrusive than, someone giving you all of their information and their date of birth and all that stuff at an open house, right? So this is a way to kind of merge the two. And so simultaneously, you need to be doing that. Again, it can happen in social media over time. It usually takes a little bit because you need the brand recognition, because you need to build up that audience. So what better way to build up this audience than doing these active, more traditional lead generation strategies and dumping them into that social media platform where you have an item of value for them to see, whether it's market reports or, interviews with lenders or whatever you're doing on your socials, neighborhood tours, whatever it is. If they see something that piques their interest, they can absolutely do it. Hot idea, open house, drive them to a YouTube, video where you had a neighborhood tour of the neighborhood that house is in, right? You have somebody who's interested in the house. You say, hey, check out my YouTube video. Boom, click this QR code, give me your email. You'll get the YouTube video, and here we are. They're now on your YouTube channel. You now have their information, and you're off to the races, and you've given them an item of value. You've said, oh, this person is kind of on it. They connected this open house with the neighborhood tour. So very, very possible there. However, I will tell you, when you take it all back, when you look at it, the only thing that you need to do in this business to have success is have as many conversations as possible. It just so happens the traditional methods are forced conversations, typically can be, filtered into the real estate realm, where sometimes on social media, nobody wants to talk about real estate. And if you bring it up and you're not tactical with that, which you can be, I have some videos on this YouTube channel all about that, so check those out. But if you're just, changing, hey, how are the kids to, hey, do you want to buy or sell real estate? It's really not going to have a good conversion rate. So it's a fine mixture of the two. But ultimately, if you perfect a way, no matter what it is, to have as many conversations as possible, and you can start to inform people without being salesy that you're in real estate and that you have this knowledge about this, or you can kind of work that into your conversations, you will be just fine. The bottom line is you need to have conversations, you need to add context to your database, and you need to be ultimately consistent with the follow-up and staying in touch with those people. So when the time comes, when they need you, which usually they need you before they know they need you. So we have to be patient, we have to be consistent, then you are off to the races. So I'm here to tell you that traditional lead strategies in real estate are a great way to get conversations, and conversations are what win the day. I'm over it. Leads don't matter until they are conversations. Once a lead becomes a conversation, then you have an actual contact, you have an actual, point to put into your database, and you're off to the races. So don't throw away all those traditional lead strategies, because they just accelerate the conversation rate that you can have in order to accelerate your business. So if you have any questions, if you're interested in booking a real estate game plan call with me, book below. If you're interested in the Foundations Builder course, I go through all kinds of stuff. In fact, there is a pillar all about these active strategies in there. Please comment Real Estate Agent Playbook course below, and I will make sure that you get the link in order to purchase that course and become a part of our community. We'll see you next time on the Real Estate Agent Playbook. Bye-bye.